Hey guys, it's Megan. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing episode 12 in my Wreck This Journal series. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me to do more of these videos, so I definitely will be. And you might notice something a little bit different about me, and that is that I just got new glasses from Firmoo.com. And Firmoo.com is awesome, and they have a promotion right now where you can get your first pair of glasses from them for only $4.95, which is insane. And these glasses are such good quality. I've been wearing them pretty much ever since I got them. I highly recommend them. You can get prescription glasses, you can get non-prescription glasses, you can get prescription sunglasses, which I am definitely going to be going back and ordering because I have always wanted prescription sunglasses, but they are so expensive from your regular optical store. But on Firmoo, all of their glasses are pretty cheap. And so here's everything that came with my glasses order from Firmoo. It comes with a kit that helps you if you need to tighten your glasses or if for some reason one of the screws falls out or something, because I've definitely had that happen before. And luckily these fit pretty well, so I didn't need to tighten them. And it also comes with your glasses, obviously. One of these glasses cleaners, and it all comes in that little bag. And it also comes in this super cute case. And all of the glasses on Firmoo's website are less than $39, and that includes prescription lenses, which is crazy. But don't forget that your first pair is only $4.95. I think that's all I had to say, so without further ado, let's just get into the video.
So the first page that I decided to do this week was the page that says, "Chew on this, warning, do not swallow." And for this, I wanted to do a gum theme. And I wanted to decorate this like the gum wall that's in Seattle. And I think that there's some of them other places too, I think that there's one in California. But I saw a picture that my friend posted from here and I thought that it looked really cool. So I decided to recreate that in my Wreck This journal. So first I printed out some printable scrapbook paper, and this is a brick pattern because the wall is a brick wall. And so I just went ahead and I cut that to the size of my page. So I went ahead and glued that into place, and for the side that has the directions on it, I cut out a smaller piece of the brick scrapbook paper so that I could still see the instructions. And where it has the arrow pointing, I wanted to put the pack from the gum, but I figured that this was too bulky and it would make the book too fat, so I decided to cut it down. But I still wanted there to be a pocket, so I just hot glued the back and the front back together after I cut it apart so that it would be a little bit thinner. And like I said, I just folded down the edges of the pack of gum and I glued them together so that it would still make a pocket, and then I glued on the top and then I hot glued that onto the page. And next I filmed myself chewing some gum, so I used 2 pieces of gum and I just tried to blow bubbles with the gum. And I just awkwardly filmed myself for about 5 minutes just chewing gum. So I screenshotted the video to get this picture, and I went ahead and cut that out. And then using a glue stick, I stuck the image onto the page. And the color of the bubble kind of just blended in way too much with my skin color, so I decided to take a pink marker and outline it. And now for probably the grossest thing that I've done in my Wreck This journal, I took some real ABC gum and I stuck it onto the page. And I put it all over the wall to make it look like the gum wall in Seattle. And I used 4 different flavors of gum so that I could get a good color variety on the wall, and I felt a little bit like that girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when I was doing this. You know, the one that turns into a blueberry? And obviously, since this page is very gross and it has gum all over it, I decided to put some clear tape all over the page so that the pages wouldn't stick together, and so that it would be, a little bit less gross if somebody, touches it. And so here's how the finished page came out, and I really like it. I think that it is definitely a creative twist on the prompt, because most people that I've seen actually take a bite out of the page. And now I just have to think of something to put inside the pack of gum. So comment down below if you have any suggestions. The next page that I decided to do was the Float This page. And for this page, I decided to do another Stranger Things themed page because I know that you guys love when I do Stranger Things themed pages. So for this one, I decided to draw 11. And this is when she's in season 1 when they're at the school and they set up the little pool for her and she is floating in the pool. And so I outlined my drawing, and then I went ahead and I filled in her dress with a pink colored pencil, and then I drew in her skin and her hair. And I didn't really do any shading on this drawing, so it does look a little bit flat, but I still think it looks fine. And next I moved on to drawing the water, and for the water I wanted to make it look like it was kind of like rippling out from her, like how it does if you plop back into the water. So basically I just drew a bunch of lines around 11 with a blue colored pencil. And then I used a darker blue around the edges and a lighter blue near the center. And then I went back in and shaded the water with some various other shades of blue until I liked the way it looked. And once that was done, I cut out the page that says float this page with an X-Acto knife. And then I used a washable blue Crayola marker, and if you're going to be doing this like I'm doing, you're going to want to use a washable marker because washable markers will spread a little bit when you put them in the water. And so I just used that and I went over the lines that they had provided and I added a few extra lines as well. And then obviously I had to float the page, so I took the page and I put it in face down, and I did this so that the marker would spread a little bit better, and then it just floated in there for a few minutes and then I took it out. And when the page dried, I used tape to attach it back into the book. And here's how the finished page came out, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks pretty cute, and I've never seen anyone do this before. And the next page that I decided to do was lose this page, and for this page I decided to draw Oscar the Grouch, and he is reading a book, and I thought that this image would be good to make the book into a Wreck This Journal, so I went ahead and I colored him in, and so I just colored him in with a few shades of green, and I colored the trash can silver. And I colored the book that he's holding black to make it look like a Wreck This Journal, and then I used a white gel pen to write Wreck at the top. And I think his hand would be covering the this journal part, so I just wrote Wreck on it. And then I went ahead and cut out my Oscar drawing, and once I had him cut out, I cut out a slit with an X-Acto knife right where Oscar meets the trash can. And now moving on to the actual page, I decided to cut off the bottom part of the page, and this is the page that I'm going to be throwing out and accepting the loss. I took this part of the page and I ripped it up a little bit, and I stuck some of the ripped pieces into the trash can with Oscar, and this is why we cut that slit with the X-Acto knife. And once I was happy with the placement, I flipped it over and I used a piece of tape to attach the pieces to Oscar's trash can. And then I used a glue stick to attach the drawing into the book. And then I took the rest of the piece that I cut out earlier and I ripped it into smaller pieces. And this I wanted to put around the trash can to make it look like the trash was spilling out. And I used a glue stick to attach these pieces as well. And of course I had to throw out a piece, so I took the remaining piece of paper and I threw it out. And here's how the finished page turned out, and I think that it looks pretty good and I'm really happy with it. The next page that I decided to do was find a way to wear the journal, and for this page I'm using these fashion dress-up stickers that I found at the dollar store, which I showed you guys in my Dollar Tree haul. And so I'm just using them, and I'm using 3 of the girls and putting them on the left side of the page and putting their outfits on the right side of the page. And with the outfits that I put on the right side of the page, I decided to cut those out with an X-Acto knife, and this way the paper dolls are actually wearing the journal because they're the page is attached to it, if that makes sense. So I just went ahead and used a glue stick to attach their clothes. And I repeated this process for all of the dolls' clothes. And I decided that the page looked a little bit plain, so I decided to add a bunch more of the outfits on the left side of the page. And can we just talk about how very early 2000s these outfits are? I could definitely have seen myself wearing some of these in first grade. And again, I decided that the background was too plain, so I went ahead and I colored it in with some colored pencils. And I made the middle section purple, the top section blue, and the bottom section pink. And I'm not really sure if this made it look better or worse. Comment down below because, I don't know, it was already looking kind of, bad. So, I don't know. I tried, though. And once the left side of the page was done, I went ahead to the right side and I outlined each piece of clothing that I cut out with the purple colored pencil. And I did this just so that they would stand out a little bit more. And for some reason, I didn't want it just to be like holes in the page, so I decided to design the clothes using washi tape. So I put some washi tape on a separate sheet of paper, and then I placed that behind each piece of clothing. And I attached the pieces of washi tape using some clear tape to the back. And I repeated that process until it looked like this. And this is definitely not my favorite page, but I still think it came out okay. And the next page that I decided to do was the trace your hand page. And I thought that it said trace your hands at first, so that's why I did both of them, but like I think it looks better with both anyways. So I just went ahead and traced both of my hands, and I had to go back and like fix some of it because like especially when I was tracing my right hand, it just did not go that good. And off camera, I decided to draw like bones in the hand so that they look like skeleton hands. And I'm sure that I did something incorrectly here, so if you guys know anything about anatomy, I am sorry. I just looked at a picture on Google, so like don't hate me. And I just went ahead and outlined everything with a black marker. And then I went ahead and colored around the bones with a black marker. And this was such a struggle because literally all of my black markers kept dying. I had like 3 different ones that I was using, and they all kept dying. It was very annoying. And so here's how the finished page came out, and I ended up filling in the bones with some glow-in-the-dark puffy paint, so the hands glow in the dark. And the last page that I decided to do this week was to make prints using an ink pad and cut vegetables. And I'm not a huge vegetable fan, so I decided to use an apple. And I also didn't have an ink pad, so I just used paint. And I'm using some orange paint because I want my apple prints to eventually look like jack-o'-lanterns. And I got this idea off of Pinterest, off of like a mom blog. This is like something that she did with her kids, but I thought it would be appropriate for the Wreck This Journal. And I just stamped away until I had a full page filled with apple prints. And once the orange paint dried, I went in with some black paint and drew faces onto the jack-o'-lanterns. And I did mostly standard jack-o'-lantern faces for 6 of them, and for 2 of them I tried something a little bit different, and the one in the upper left corner I really hate and I wish that I did not do, and kind of the same with the one in the bottom right corner. Like I should have just stuck to a normal one, but like oh well. And here's how the finished page turned out, and again, it's definitely not the best page that I've ever done, but I still kind of like it. And of course, we can't forget the collect the stamps off of all your mail page. And this week's stamp comes from Corinne, and Corinne sent me this really awesome letter, and she sent me these magnets that she painted, as well as this rose drawing, which is so cute. And I actually hung them up on this magnet board that I have in my room. And so thank you so much, Corinne. I absolutely loved the stuff that you sent me. And if you guys ever want to send me mail, I'll put my P.O. Box address on the screen, and it's always in the description box.
So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and as always, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one, and make sure to follow me on Instagram. It is @WellerMegs, and yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!